everyone. My name is Rochelle Innocent and I'm the founder and CEO of Project Purpose. Welcome to our channel. Our community is focused on fostering the intellectual and character development in children. We do this through our parent-child workshops that are focused on 4 themes: autonomy, self-efficacy, compassion, and self-concept, in order to cultivate grit, perseverance, and resilience in each child. And we are so thrilled to be offering one of the first of its kind digital, virtual, and continuous learning environments, enabling parents and children to connect from all around the world. At Project Purpose, our overarching mandate is to renew and rebuild family, community, and relationships. Our different social media platforms provide us with an opportunity to have discussions and to create space on all topics that relate to family, community, and relationships with ourselves as well as with others, with a primary focus on mental health and education. More precisely, the ways that the institutions of mental health and education play a role and have played a role in our societies at large. These discussions and debates provide us with an opportunity to think critically about what needs to change within these structures for us to live up to our bold slogan: support, protect, and empower each child through youth-focused development, better known as leadership in juvenescence. We recognize that in valuing our children's leadership potential, this also translates as recreating and co-creating environments, both socially and politically, that will enable our children to thrive. For those of you who are particularly keen on the topic, we also write thought pieces every other Sunday. We actually scheduled the thought piece to drop this upcoming Sunday, so definitely be sure to meander over to the website and check out our online content. Now, if it is the case that you are looking for a listening alternative, well, we're available wherever podcasts are playing, and we provided you with access to a few links down below. Now, as is the convention, be sure to subscribe, hit that post notification bell so that you are aware of every time we post. And of course, if you like these conversations and you want to keep them going, like, comment, and share this segment. Let's get into it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another segment here on Project Purpose. For those of you who are new, we cover topics that relate to mental health, mental wellness, and education on a week-by-week basis. And today's topic of discussion is mental health. On the topic of mental health, as we are gearing up for the new year, I want to talk about pain. I want to talk about pain because when we think about stretching ourselves, when we think about growth and evolution, we must anticipate that it comes with a little pain. No pain, no gain. But it's equally important that we recognize the difference between healthy pain and unhealthy pain. And so that's what this week's conversation is going to be about. It's going to be a 2-part series, and I'm going to focus in this series on what healthy pain looks like and why we need to lean in and push through the healthy pain that growth demands of us, and how that is very, very different from unhealthy pain, and how we give ourselves the space and the respect to steer clear of the unhealthy pain that is often related to our comfort zone and related to toxic patterns that demand our attention. And so I want to have this conversation today. Pain is such a remarkable topic because pain is something that can be felt at so many different levels of being. Pain can be something we feel in our physical bodies. It can be something that is emotional. We can feel it deep in our soul. Like, there's so many different layers to pain that we can talk about. And when we think about growth and evolution, when we think about doing something we have never done, is going to involve sacrifice. It's going to involve a little bit of pain. And so I don't want us to be afraid of that. I don't want us to steer clear of pain, because much of what we want in this life is beyond the pain that getting there is going to achieve. When you level up, it's going to involve pain. And when we think about working out, when you're building muscle, that's healthy pain, right? But you also need to recognize when you're building muscle, like there's certain kinds of pain that are warning signals that your body needs you to stop or needs you to adjust. And so that's really the level of awareness that you want to cultivate when you're in pain, so that you can always operate from a place of honoring and respecting and recognizing your pain, and then distinguishing between what pain is good that you lean into and then what pain is bad. And so in this video, we're going to be talking about more so emotional and spiritual pain. So all together, I think we can wrap that up as psychological pain. And I want to talk about pains that you lean into. If it is the case now that you are adapting, and adapting can be to a new environment, it can be to a new relationship, it can be to a new anything, you fill in the blank, and it's going to involve some what we call growing pains, because as you adjust to this new normal, it's going to involve a level of discomfort. It's going to involve sometimes uncomfortable conversations. It's going to involve developing an awareness and acuity to things that you maybe never needed to pay attention to. And it's also going to involve speaking up. And I think that it's so interesting that very few people talk about how painful it is, how very discomforting it can be to speak up. And that can be a really psychologically painful experience, to speak up, to voice your needs, to voice your wants, and then bear the risk of it not being well received. There's a certain level of psychological pain that comes with that. But when you're hoping to adapt and when you're looking for adaptation in response, if you're looking for that reciprocity in building new relationships or in trying to establish yourself in new environments, then there's going to be a certain amount of pain involved with that. But it's a time-sensitive pain, right? It's only as you're adjusting and accommodating and getting to know the landscape that there's going to be a certain degree of pain there. And that's the kind of pain that we call and consider a healthy pain, because adaptation is good. Growth is good. Learning to use your voice to articulate your needs and wants is good. Learning to be receptive to what other people's needs and wants are good. Being responsive and adaptive and aware about the needs of the people that you're building relationships with, or about the requirements or the rules of engagement in the environment that you would like to cleave yourself to, is the kind of emotional, psychological pain that I would consider to be healthy pain, and that you lean into so long as you don't feel like it's to your detriment. And that's where that distinguishing factor really makes a difference, because adaptation is healthy, but accommodating to the point where you're losing yourself is not. So you need to have a sense of what your boundaries are, of what your no-go zones are. And as you're adapting, you need to know what's your ceiling, what's your cutoff by way of adapting. Or if you're adapting in this way, what's the longevity do you see? And so adaptation is nuanced. There's no cookie cutter, black and white. We adapt to this point and then it's too much from there. The degree by which we decide that we are flexible is our own personal choice, and it's a choice that we can make in alignment with ourselves if we know what it is that we're looking for, if we know who it is that we are, and we have a really clear sense of what our boundaries are. And if any of those things fail to be true, then you could be overly accommodating and you could be overextending yourself by way of pushing yourself far beyond what you're ready to handle at that point in time. And so I have mentioned in a few videos that I don't believe in restrictions by way of growth. I do believe in more so this limitless mindset, but I do think that you can overextend yourself if you're pushing yourself to behave and to adapt to environments that your world's a part of right now. Like, you need to give yourself the stepping stones by way of development, by way of your own personal stages and phases, so that that accommodation is for you and not working against you. And so that's one of the first types of pains that I think is an important pain. Adaptation, I think, is really, really very key. Another pain that I think is really important is discipline. And discipline is the pain that we very rarely talk about, but discipline for me, I believe, is the highest form of self-love, and it comes with pain. It means you make the choice to deny yourself for this present moment because you know that it will pay off in the future. And a lot of people who are attaining success are attaining success because of discipline, because there's just so much that we can attend to. There's so much that we can spend our time gratifying ourselves with, that if we delay that gratification, it ends up paying off in the future. So for those of us who have fitness goals, it involves a certain degree of discipline. If you are looking to look like and to have your body function worlds apart from how it's looking like right now and how it's functioning right now, but you can get there with some discipline. Or if you're looking to change your career or step into a new career, if you're looking to gain a new degree, if you're stepping into a new work environment that involves a lot of learning curves, then all of that is truly attainable to you with discipline, which means that you put yourself in some structure, right? You give yourself some routine. Sometimes we hear the word discipline, we don't really know how it translates. And how it translates for me is putting yourself on a cadence that gives you the maximal probability of success. So discipline means I am super intentional about how often I sleep, how often I eat, to what extent I review certain material, like how I prep myself for success in specific settings, and how I do that on a regular basis. So it's not just a one and done thing. It's something that I will approach and that I will integrate in my schedule as part of a way of helping me attain the goals that mean the most to me. And so discipline is painful. Even when you know it's good for you, there are things that like one would rather be doing. Like, even I'm someone who is perpetually cold, and even when I'm not cold, I prefer to be snug. I prefer to be warmer than the average challenged person. So for me, I love to just be snuggled up in a corner. And if you give me a book, I can be snuggled up in that corner forever. But because I have fitness goals, because I have nutrition goals, because I have to do work, it involves discipline to get up and moving when life doesn't require me to do so. And so I will exercise that discipline because I have things that I need to do. But people don't often think about discipline as being something that can be painful. And oftentimes it's when discipline becomes painful, when we start to feel that inner resistance that comes when your body doesn't want to anymore, or mentally you're feeling tired, you don't want to anymore. And if you don't push past that wall and do it anyway, then that pain that is posing as a task as to like how much do you really want this, it's going to deter you from achieving what you're looking for. You need to push through the pain, and pushing through the pain will enable you to level up, attain those goals, and set and establish new goals and new disciplines that will help you build your character, build the acumen, the mental and emotional focus to continuously this path of growth and evolution, and attain the things that really matter most to you. So I don't think a lot of people reference discipline as painful, but if you have stretch goals, if you have goals that really are pushing you out into a completely different universe, and expect there to be a certain degree of discomfort, and that's a discomfort that I would welcome any day of the week. And now the last pain that I want to talk about is change, the pain that comes with change. And change can be something that can happen on a variety of different scales. There can be small little changes, and if you're someone who you have a high attention to detail, like the small changes can be a little bit disruptive to you. It can be like mid-sized changes, like maybe you change roles, you get a promotion within your same company, or maybe you move, but you're moving to a different apartment in the same building or in the same neighborhood, or maybe it's a big change, like you're moving different countries, you're moving different provinces, different states, like so on and so forth. Change can be disruptive, and disruption is painful. And I think that we all need to just honor and respect that there is pain that is involved with being outside of an environment that is comfortable to you. And so because I like to travel the world, I love to experience new cultures, I cannot say that because I love it, it doesn't mean that I don't experience discomfort when I am faced with a situation or with a scenario or with different people or with different dynamics that show me to what extent my culture is worlds apart from the culture that I am integrated in or that I'm in right now, and to what extent I need to observe, adapt, and adjust my own way of thinking, my own worldview as a result of that. And there is a certain level of discomfort, of pain, when you're put in front of a situation that has you question your belief systems. And I think sometimes we underestimate the impact that change can have on our lives, and not just to others. We don't show a whole lot of empathy to other people who are experiencing that. We don't show a lot of empathy to ourselves. When we're going through change, every part of our systems are disrupted. We're paying attention to a lot more information than we're used to. We can't operate on autopilot the way that we typically do because everything is different. So your brain is cultivating a new set of heuristics, and it's telling you what things you need to pay attention to and what things you don't. And as you go through that process of change, it can be really very visceral, but it's the kind of pain that's going to help you grow and adjust and develop the flexibility, the malleability to be able to find yourself comfortable in many situations. And as millennials, I am a millennial, we have minimum, I think the average is 6 career shifts in our lives, and I've already hit that maximum, and luckily I found my stride, but that involves a lot of disruption. And I think that if you're looking for growth and evolution, you have to be willing to carry the weight of disruption and transformation. They go hand in hand. You can't experience transformation without first experiencing disruption. And we think about even nature, how this example really plays itself out. Like if you think about a butterfly was first a larvae that went into a cocoon, and within that cocoon developed the wings, and then had to experience a lot of disruption along the way. So even the process of building the wings and breaking out of the cocoon, that metamorphosis, involves disruption, which involves pain, right? So pain is a very beautiful, beautiful, wonderful element of existence that we have to learn to distinguish when it's good, when it's healthy, when it's for us. And we also need to be able to determine when it's unhealthy, when it's something that is signaling us to move away, and when it's something that is signaling that this no longer serves us. So that was really what I wanted to talk to you about today. This first segment was on healthy pain, the pain that we lean into, and that's the pain that comes with adapting, is the pain that comes with discipline, and also the pain that comes with change. And I think these are very, very healthy pains that if you're looking to adapt, if you're looking to change, if you're looking to cultivate discipline, embrace this pain as you step into the new year. This pain will serve you, it will help you, it will push you, it will fortify, and it will refine you. That I promise. In any case, that was the topic for today. Definitely stay tuned in for the topic on Thursday, which will be the pains that we stay away from. Now, before letting you go, I would be remiss if I didn't let you know that we will be going live at least twice a month, every month for the foreseeable future on our Facebook page, so definitely be sure to tune in. Now, these events are paid events, so if you do see yourself participating in our community on an ongoing basis, then I do suggest that you take a look at one of our package plans. Yes, so we do offer package plans over and above our live events, as well as access to webinars and workshops, largely focused on self-mastery over and above those events. So check it out, be part of our game changer community, being part of the change that you want to see, allowing us a small role to play in your journey. We are on the road to 1K, so we do invite you to follow us across all of our social media platforms, and we look forward to chatting with all of you very soon. We'll talk to you later.